Hello, welcome to my channel, Forever Altered, where we discuss narcissists and being in a relationship with them, what that means, and how to educate ourselves, protect ourselves, and hopefully find the strength to get out of the relationship. I've said this before, but I have been in a relationship with a narcissist for almost 5 years, and believe it or not, it's the very first narcissist I've ever encountered in my life, and wouldn't you know it, I got stuck with them. It has been a trip, and if you are researching narcissists, then I know that you already know that. You already know how difficult it is, and how crazy-making they can be, and you're here for the same reason I am. So please subscribe to my channel so that we can discuss and work together to educate ourselves and stop trying to live a fantasy that we can make this work when we know down deep that we can't. There are a lot of very good resources out there, people that have already broken the cycle, and I have included them. I think they're down below somewhere in my featured channels. Those were the ones that I find most helpful, and there's several. I would strongly recommend, if you just ran across my video, that you look at those, because there are several that I follow daily, and they have helped me grow stronger as an individual, very much so. So I'm hoping that they'll do the same for you. In the beginning, I was absolutely crazy, beside myself with how could this person see me in this light and so forth. Well, I shouldn't say that. The very, very beginning, what they call the love bombing stage, was very brief for me, because I ended up pregnant 2 months after I met him. And so I think I would have just ended the relationship. Had that not happened, I would have known something wasn't right and ended the relationship. But in the very, very beginning, what I remember is he came on very strong, very, very strong. Like, he automatically assumed that just because we were talking, and I saw it as a friendship, that we were talking and we were in a relationship. And I was ending another relationship that was a 3-year relationship, and I was still working through the details of that, and wasn't 100% sure that it was ending. So I had some communications with this person, and I was not hiding that fact, because I was a grown-up, and I was doing what I thought was the right thing to do. There were children involved and so forth. So, but my narc viewed it as cheating, and to this day he throws it in my face, in amongst all of his other accusations of cheating, that he would, had he known I was still talking to my ex, like as if we had made this commitment to each other. And the funny thing is looking back, we never really made a commitment to date each other. We never, I saw him as a friend in need, which is my classic life error, is being empathic and thinking that I can help and fix people. And that's what I saw in him. And so I stepped up and tried to do things for him in the spirit of helping someone. And he, I felt right hook, line, and sinker as a wonderful supply source to a narcissist. Like I must have had it written up on my forehead, supply of blinking lights. It's really sad now when I think back. It's actually embarrassing. That was not my intention, but to a person like that, to a narcissist, yeah, that is exactly how they see it. So anyway, today's topic is, are you insignificant to your narcissist? And the ways that he proves to you, or she proves to you, your insignificance. And I came up with, just off the top of my head, 9 different things that tell me that I am insignificant to my narcissist. And I think they'll ring true to you. By the way, insignificant is defined as too small or unimportant to be worth consideration. And I thought that was the perfect word choice in this situation, because that is exactly how you are made to feel. You are made to feel that you are unimportant, and you are so unimportant that you're not even worth their consideration. The relationship is so unimportant that it's not worth discussion, it's not worth working on, it's not worth talking about, it's not worth being proactive to them. You can work your tail off to fix whatever, relationship issues there are, but they are insignificant to the narcissist, painfully so. So at any rate, I found 9 things just literally off the top of my head that confirm this for me. And the first is that he never hears me when I talk. This is a major problem because it actually is the root of a lot of our arguments, because he is constantly telling me that I did not tell him this, I withheld this information, and he then gets mad at me because timing is everything, and when you tell them stuff, and how you tell them stuff, and if you tell them stuff, and all, go on and on. But so I try very hard to be proactive and make sure he's aware of everything that's going on, and every commitment, and especially every commitment I have, because if I have extra work hours, then it's always a problem. I'm going to get extra you're cheating, you're not really at work texts and things of that nature. So I try to be very, very clear about what I'm doing, and when I'm doing it, and where I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it, and with who I'm doing it, and how long I'll be there, and everything very specific, so as to avoid the argument that I did not tell him. But it always backfires because he does not listen. He does not hear what I say. I can be talking, and I've actually tested this theory many times. I can be talking, and he is busy talking to our daughter, playing with her, watching TV, on his phone, any number of things, but I will literally stop talking and see if he acknowledges that I'm halfway through a story that I never finished. And he never does. He never comments. He never asks me, what were you saying? It just goes unnoticed. And I've done that to the extreme a few times just to see if he would notice, and he never does. So he never hears me. The second thing is he is entitled. He has a very high sense of entitlement. He thinks he's entitled to everything. He's entitled to, my home, my money, my accomplishments, my everything in my house. He's entitled to free electric. He's entitled to all the best premium channels on TV. He's entitled to my Amazon account, my eBay account. He's entitled to everything. And if he makes any effort to put anything into the situation, like buying something for the house, then the first time he gets upset, one of the very first things he will say is how he's wasting his money because nothing is ever his, and I don't want him to have anything, and I don't want him to be anything, and it's like I want him to be a failure is what he will tell me, which is so far from the truth it's not even funny. But if nothing else, just for the fact that he could stand on his own 2 feet and not on mine, that alone would spur me to want him to be successful. But by nature, I'm the kind of person that wants to help people succeed. So I still even have this whatever small hope that he could succeed. And since we've been together, I've helped him get his own bank account, get his own debit card, get his own credit card. He has 2 vehicles. He has things. He has an income. So he is better off now. He has health insurance. He's better off now than he's probably ever been since he was taken care of by his mother. But he feels he's entitled to all of that and more. And he feels that my children, other than the daughter we share, are not entitled to any of my things, any of my, money, my resources, my, whatever. borrowing a vehicle, to borrowing my truck to haul something would be a major catastrophe. I would have to sneak to do that because he would not, he would just, he would come unhinged, and I would have to listen to hours of beratement, and I would rather avoid it. So I just basically do what I need to do without including him. Seems to work so far. Anyway, number 3 is he minimizes your needs. He minimizes my needs. He very much minimizes my needs. He very much considers anything that I need or want or desire to be unimportant or even stupid or a waste of time. He, as an example, we recently remodeled, quote, 2 rooms. We moved our bedroom from the back of the house or the front of the house to the back of the house. And I have a very big home, and so I kind of flip-flopped rooms and made the primary bedroom a different room. So he redid that room. He ordered stuff. He ordered rugs and made special shelves and really put some time into it and did this room. And it's pretty. It's his style, but it's very pretty. And I redid the other room up front, and I made it into a sitting room and with a small bed in there. And I like to spend time up there in the mornings and early mornings when everyone is still asleep. And so I made it very bohemian style, which is how I like to decorate. Well, I have had to keep telling him how wonderful his room is, how wonderful it looks, and how perfect, and he did what a wonderful job he did, and he has done nothing but cut down the room I did. Why are you up in that room all the time? I wasted my money doing this room. You think it looks cool, but it looks stupid. I mean, it's like he can't be happy about the smallest thing. And I guess in his mind, I directly competed with him because I did a room when he was doing a room, but I actually did it because I have an office that has a small apartment with it, and I work from there, and I recently redid all of it. And I did it very much my style, which very much bohemian. I'm in it now, and he's never come out and said he liked it, but he did say, you take everything nice back there. You don't do anything up here in our house, but you take everything nice to your office and you redo it. You spend all this time, and money redoing it. So I thought, okay, well, to please him, I will start doing the house and just do room by room. So I thought, here's my chance. I'll do this one room. So, but anyway, that wasn't the right thing to do, evidently, because he's entitled to the happiness and he's entitled to those things, but no one else is, I guess, including me. I'm not supposed to reach out and decorate something the way I want to, maybe without his permission. I don't really know. But anyway, number 3, that's he minimizes your needs. So number 4 is you find that you minimize your needs. And I have found this to be true. There for a long time, when he would accuse me of, infidelity, and he was always saying that all I care about was dick. Now, excuse me, but that's what he says. All you care about, and if we do have sex, and then you're all happy, and, this is from a man who might, come knocking at my door a couple times a month. And it's like, this is the most sexless relationship I've ever had. And I'm still hanging in there and haven't gone to anyone else, and you're telling me I'm a whore, and you're telling me all I want is sex, and I don't get it because, but for the longest time, I reacted by trying to shut my own self down. Like, okay, chill out, don't expect so much, step back, let him control this, let him do this, and I started minimizing my needs to the point where I actually felt like, I was a sexless person. I was a love, how do I say that? I had longed for hugs and companionship and, just to be held and to be trusted and to be cuddled with or kissed like I was their girlfriend or spouse, not like grandma. You know, I longed for all that, and I got to the point where I just told myself, you know, you are 51, as he keeps reminding me. You should be able to, you're raising a, you know, why don't you just be a mother? You're raising a child. I got pregnant at 47. I have a 3.5-year-old, which is quite shocking. But so, I mean, he would tell me, you're a mom, you're supposed to be raising a daughter, and that should be your priority. And I would think, you know, that should be my priority. My priority is her. But I realized that I was minimizing my own needs. Like, yes, I'm a mom, but that's not just who I am. I am not just a mom. I'm also an employee. I'm a business owner. I'm a parent. You know, I'm a daughter. I'm an aunt. I'm all kinds of other things. I'm a friend. I'm all kinds of other things. But I was minimizing my needs to make it more bearable because he was minimizing my needs. So I have since stopped doing that. Maybe not stopped doing that, but I've certainly stepped back and taken a look at it, and I've certainly given myself permission to have needs. I have the right to have needs, and I get to dictate those needs, not him. He can choose to like it or not like it. He can be on board or not on board, but I will have my needs met somehow. That's fair, right? That's only fair. At 51 years old, I don't have a whole lot of time left to, explore my options, so to speak, or figure out what it is that I want that makes me happy. Now's the time. So I'm taking back my control in that regard. Anyway, number 5 is they are selfish. Narcissists are notoriously selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed. Obviously they show no empathy. Well, they have empathy for them. They have a deep concern and emotional feelings. Oh, let me say that. For themselves. They do not have empathy or a deep concern or feelings for others' suffering, for others' pain, for, other people. They are very selfish. And mine is no exception. He is very selfish. He is, if he doesn't get the right food, he throws a tantrum like a child. If he, the whole sex thing, I don't even know. I can't even figure it out because he'll act like he doesn't have the slightest bit of interest in me at all. And then all of a sudden, just one day, he'll be like responsive or not responsive. It's not even responsive. It's not like anything I've ever had before. There's no open communication except for, are you taking a bath? Do you want to meet in the bedroom? I mean, it's so vague or whatever, but I mean, at least, I don't even know. I can't even say at least it's emotion because it's really not. It's sex is what it is. But, and of course that's him being selfish. It's what he wants, what he needs, how he wants it, how he, doesn't want it, whatever. That's how it gets done. So number 6 is they don't care about the mental stress they put on you, which is so true. I stop and think about what I have been through in the last 4.5 years. And I will say it's been better in the past maybe 1.5 years, but the only reason I will say that is because I have learned to gray rock him. I have learned to just shut him down quicker. Sometimes when I reach a threshold where I can't deal with it and I speak back, when I can tell he's in the mood, I can tell he's looking for a fight. I can tell he's trying to set me up, and he's gonna say, his little digs, his constant little digs that a lot of times when he does that shit, I will ignore him. I will literally just pretend I didn't hear it. Why? Not because I want to be walked on. No, because what he says to me needs to be as insignificant. So I'm giving him the message, you're insignificant also. I'm not going to care what you think. And I have told him that numerous times. I don't care what you think anymore. I don't care if you think my hair looks better long. I don't care if you don't like leggings and you'd rather I wear jeans. I really don't care. Because when I wear jeans, you don't say they look nice. Or when my hair was longer, you never told me you liked it. You only want to point out the negative. So I really don't care about your opinion. I'm going to do what I like to do or what makes me feel good or comfortable. Period. So But to get to this point has been difficult, because I can easily remember back to a time when I would fall apart because he had called me every name under the book. I mean, he used to constantly call me names, terrible names. I mean, I can barely even repeat. They were so terrible. Every once in a while, I share a little bit of, because I started recording my narc on my phone, and usually, of course, you can sense when they're going to explode and start raging on you, but you can't really get the beginning of it. But you can hit, I can hit record pretty darn quick on my phone, and I can get almost the very beginning of a rage session, and I can record it all the way through. And so I can listen to it later and be like amazed, like, oh my God, did he really say that? But that's to say, they don't care about that. They don't care about the mental stress. They don't care that you're falling apart. They don't care that you're in a heap or you're considering suicide because they have called you human garbage, or they have, called you a cheating whore, or said, yeah, if anyone is talking to you, they're desperate. Or even one of his famous things are to beat his chest or lift his shirt up and say, look at me, I look good. I could have anybody I wanted to. Pretty girls would be head over heels to have a chance to be with me. And he would always say things like, that equals you're not. That equals. But he's not vague about it. He's very, very upfront about it. Like, he's numerous times he said, and you would cheat on me? Anybody that would see us would think it was the other way around. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm so terrible. Like, he is so elevated. Like, he thinks he is so wonderful that, and I'm like, why are you with me if you really think that? Like, but what I've learned is with a narc that anything you say can and will be held against you. Anything you say will only spark more arguing. So I've learned to not, I hate to say it this way, but to not defend myself or not talk back to it, because I'm beating a dead horse. There is nothing I can say that will change his opinion. He's not going to say, oh man, you know what? You're right. I'm with you. So I'm saying I'm a piece of shit if I'm saying you're one. He would never make those connections. So I just leave it as it is, and I know in my own heart how I feel about my own self. And that has been a long road, a very long road, because a narcissist definitely destroys your self-esteem. And it isn't until you reach in and take it back and say, you know what, you can have whatever opinion of me you want, but you can also keep it to yourself. I don't have to listen to it, and I don't have to subscribe to it, because I can look at my life, and I can look at my accomplishments, and I can look at what a kind of a person I am. I can feel good about what kind of a person I am. You, on the other hand, have taken advantage of people, have looked at people as supply, have done nothing but degrade and hurt the people, the women in your life. So that's how I deal with that one. But anyway, number 7, what you give is never appreciated. And this one rings true because he and I are from 2 different financial situations. Now, I'm not saying I have a ton, but I've worked very hard for what I have. I came from a family where I didn't have much. My mom worked her butt off, and she had me when she was 15, and I saw her drop out of school when I was born. I saw her go back to school. When I was in 8th grade, she went to get her LPN license, and then she went to get her RN license, and she worked very hard. But we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, and there were many days we had no food, and electric getting shut off and things like that when I was a kid. But she worked hard, and I saw that, and I worked hard because of it. And I went to school. I got my master's degree. I got to where I have a business and I have things. And I've worked very, very hard for every single thing I've gotten. I have done without. I have taken paychecks and put them back into remodeling an old rental that I, picked up cheap, and where other people were buying, $40,000 vehicles, I was buying when I could pay cash for and putting all my money into those things. So I've worked damn hard for my accomplishments. He has just sat on someone else's coattail and taken advantage of what they had, and then gotten angry when they decided to stop giving. And so because of the fact that I have had more financial opportunities, and in the early part when I was dumb and thought that I could actually turn him around and help him get in a good direction, he has vehicles that I purchased for him. It's been a while and I won't do it again, but I did in the past purchase him a couple of, actually 3 or 4 vehicles, and he has tons of stuff over the years that have come from my money. Tons and tons of stuff and everything. I should have known when I loaned him a set of tools when I first met him. And that's one of the things I was so upset about, because I wanted to break it off with him, but I was trying to get the tools back because the tools had been given to me by my ex-husband and they were important to me. And I never did get them back. But what I didn't realize then is everything that he touched that was mine in his mind was now his, even way back then. So nothing I ever give him, though, is enough. And when he gets mad, he will say, that doesn't mean shit to me. I can get anybody to give me stuff. You think you're the first person that's got me stuff? You think you're the first person that's paid for my phone or gotten me a vehicle? I can get that from anywhere. And I can find people with more money than you. If money is what it's about, believe me, I can find somebody with more money than you. So he minimizes every single thing I do for him. If that doesn't tell you that you're insignificant, I don't know what does. Like, nothing you do for me matters. You're doing it for me, specifically for me, when you could be choosing to do it for someone else or for no one, but you're choosing to do it for me, and I tell you it doesn't matter, and that I could find anybody to do that. That doesn't mean you love me. I could find anybody to do that. When he said that before. Number 8 is he elevates his needs. He makes sure that his needs are at the top of the list. That assures you that you're insignificant. His needs are the important needs here, and you are the supplier, and you better damn sure make sure that he gets what he wants. And as an example there, I can remember back early on again when I was still flailing at the idea that he thought I was a bad person, and I was still trying and just so hard to prove to him that I wasn't. And he found a very nice Mustang that he wanted. It was a 2002 Mustang that had been souped up, cammed out, whatever that means, rebuilt, and is in immaculate condition with like 50,000 miles on it. It was beautiful, is beautiful, and he wanted it. And if I scraped every bit of cash I had together from sources I shouldn't have probably broken into, I was able to come up with the money, along with trading in a vehicle. He had a vehicle that I had already bought him, and he wanted to trade it in, but he talked me into trading my vehicle and me keeping his other vehicle. So I would trade my vehicle plus my cash and get him a Mustang. And I did it. And I stupidly did it. And from that point on, not only was the Mustang his, but the car that was supposed to now be mine was also his. When my daughter dropped French fries on the floor, he yelled at me because he didn't want her treating that car like that, and she needed to stay out of it if that was going to be how she was going to treat it. So I actually quit driving it because I couldn't stand to be in it, frankly. But when he wanted that car, and I had told him that I did not think I really should be buying it because I didn't have, that would take everything I had, and then I would have no cash. I would have no savings, no, nothing back, just in case. And he got very mad, and he said, you just remember, if you don't do this, that's it. He said, we may still be together, but you're done in my eyes. I forget what all he said, now when I look back, I think, were you nuts? Oh my God. But somehow I thought, if I buy this, maybe I'll prove to him once and for all that I put his needs, first, whatever. But anyway, so he was elevating his needs. And guess what? That brings me to number 9. Number 9 is you elevate his needs. And that's exactly what I did. I decided that his need was the most important thing, and that I needed to figure out a way to meet it. And no matter what the cost was to me personally, or to, my children. I mean, I have other children, and that could have went into a college savings or something. But instead, it went on a Mustang. And it happens to be the Mustang that he takes out to drive at night when he disappears and doesn't come home till 3 or 4 in the morning. Doesn't do it all the time, but he does do it sometimes. So I probably provided him with the vehicle that he goes and visits other women with. That's my thought. Pretty sure. But that's for another video. So anyway, that's it. Insignificant. If you are insignificant to your narc, then he considers you, or she considers you, too small or unimportant to be worth consideration. And I would ask you, as I'm asking myself, why are we putting up with it? We know we are not insignificant. We know that we have needs, and they are acceptable, and we should be allowed to have needs and not be scorned for them, not be made fun of for them, or called names for them. And one of our basic needs is to be loved and to feel respected. I think that's a general need of everyone. And even your basic needs are laughed at and mocked by a narcissist. So I guess to leave you with this one final thought, we are not insignificant. I am not insignificant. My needs are important, and your needs are important as well. So please hit the subscribe button. Give me your comments below. I will be happy to respond to them. And look at my featured channels list, because there are a lot of really great resources there that will help you. Ultimately, that is my goal. Ultimately, my goal is to one day come on here and say, I finally did it. I finally had my fill, and I kicked his butt out. And one of these days, that's exactly what I will be saying. So take care. God bless. Happy holidays. And I'll see you in a week or so when I make my next video. Bye now.